Steph Curry is considered unguardable, and Austin Rivers thinks there's one group that deserves a share in his success. He claims the referees love Steph Curry. The Warriors shooter is not just hard to guard, he's also favored highly by the referees. At least that's what Rivers had to say on the Ringer podcast. This combination has turned him into a star shooter and invincible guard, who's also a moving target for his opponents. Stars get stares. In the heat of the game, the rival forces are all running after this cannon shooter.
Range. But look at him come off of here. Dylan Brooks is all over him. I got him. I'm right here. But Steph is just different.
His 6'2" frame gives him a lot of leverage, but also makes him that much more difficult to guard against. It'd be difficult to maintain this dominance without a little leeway throughout the games. This has sparked some controversy, with allegations of illegal screens being set up to facilitate the star. The Warriors' star player is smart when it comes to brass tacks, and his years in the NBA have taught him a lot he needed to know about maximizing advantages.
I'll tell you what, the passing, just absolutely incredible.
Oh, look at Curry. That was delightful.
To less experienced players, guarding against Curry can easily turn into a frustrating challenge worthy of an MVP award itself. But the 34-year-old plays it safe first and foremost. In his record-setting average of over 24 points per game,
I was ready to talk about the defense, and Steph says, let's just talk about my offense again. I mean, this guy's concentration, the ability to get square and fire so quick.
Curry still managed to land at the bottom pole for free throw attempts. This stat makes the case for biased referees a lot weaker. Plus, sports rivalries are intense and go deeper than most. Or maybe Rivers is just trying to understand his 22 losses to Curry out of a total of 26 encounters in their career. That's a lot of games, but the Akron native had a long career. The baby-faced assassin grew up playing the game. When you hear of a star player, it's easy to assume they were always playing at this level. The transitions are just so smooth. Each game levels you up ever so slightly. By the time you're 14 years old in pro NBA, you've already been through a lot. All of those experiences combined have created a galaxy in Steph Curry, apparently. Hey, I'm not the one who said it. These are the words of the Pelicans' CJ McCollum, who called it Curry against the rest of the shooting guards. Likening the star guard and great shooter to a solar system in which planets revolve around him is not off mark, perhaps a tad bit dramatic. But who wouldn't be when discussing the two-time MVP?
Comes out. Somehow the Warriors come up with a stand. Curry, three on the way. Yes, sir!
Just look at his 2022 Western Conference performance. He scored 28 points for a rebound score of 8.3 and nearly 50% three-pointers. If that's not enough to convince you, don't worry. His defense players are in a bit of a shock too.
And how about the dribbling exhibition of Steph Curry? That's poetry in motion. I mean, what do you do? And leading to an assist.
Since 2009, the 7th overall draft pick has had opposing teams scrambling to defend him. Credit's also due here to the work of Bob Myers, who created a whole team around their star guard. Curry's range and technical ability make him adaptable to a number of situations that might trip a less talented player.
Curry, three. Yes, sir! That's a perfect screen. Kenrich Williams tried to shoot the gap. He didn't stay on him.
This gamble by the Warriors' head of basketball paid off, with 4 championship wins under Curry's watch and a legacy of being the toughest player to defend. This stuff can't be taught. Some are just born with it. Curry's natural talents make him a fearsome shooter. It's a sight to behold. Of course, we could watch him shoot those three-pointers all day, but part of the spell's also the way he gets there. The moment he crosses the half court, you'll see teams scrambling to cover him. Unfortunately for them, Steph Curry creates his own advantages. Over the years, this has seen him create his own shot, turn a catch into a winning shot, find the open man, and make the decisive pass. There's just no way teams can take him down. If they do, they can't keep him down. Not that his own team's resting on its laurels.
One play in this game. Steph's like, no, forget about the screens. I got this. Little fake like he's about to spin towards the middle, fade away. He's looking at the crowd.
You see, the solar system's continuously in motion. Just like that, the Warriors roster is always moving, around one constant alone, Steph Curry. This has seen the addition of sharpshooter Klay Thompson, who also helps lay down the path for total domination by Curry. This role has been performed by several players in the past, who've all gone off to spectacular careers. It's almost as if Curry's the mentor or stepping stone for greatness. One player who stood firmly in his corner came to be known by that name, Curry Stopper. Yes, the 4-time NBA champ has guards dedicated just for him. Deladova, who now plays for Sacramento with the Kings, was tasked with one job alone, guarding Warriors star and the golden boy in the 2015 NBA Finals.
Steph Curry off the pick and roll. Mazov splits the pick and roll. Curry gets to his spot.
The superstar and his Australian guard made for a potent combination, with much of the success going to Curry's ability to never stop moving. The airtight defense continued until they hit the Cavaliers. Down to a 2-1 defeat, it was now Steph Curry who took the lead. He finally caught their weakness and averaged career-best 28 points in their final 3 games of the season. Boasting a killer 49% shooting rate off the field, he was truly a team player, but also an individual phenom. Over the years, the player with the Midas touch has been acclaimed years around, both praised and criticized for one thing only: his unreal offense game. Perhaps no one knows this better than the Celtics.
7 seconds to go for Curry on Pritchard. Tice hedging. Curry in his bag, got it!
Who squared up against Curry several times in their career. The Celtics dish out on Curry's impenetrable game. Fans aside, even his opponents can't stop talking about him. That comes with the territory of being a superstar. But even his opponents aren't 100% sure of what he'd do next though. And that's exactly what makes him such a liability for the other team. His deadly combo of dangerous shooting, excellent ball handling, and untiring mobility have made him the hardest player to guard for the Celtics' Isaiah Thomas. That by itself wouldn't be that big of a challenge. But you see, unlike superstars who may get in over their heads after a rush of fame, Curry's a great team player. Hearing Thomas talk about Curry's gameplay, I couldn't help but think of him as a glue for the Warriors. He keeps everything centered, and his teammates know that as long as they've got Curry's back, the game's in the sack. Nowhere was this more obvious than when he slid through the Clippers defenders to make a step-back 3 that was almost magic. He also helps make such good passes that it's hard to find a way in for a rival team, much less consider stealing the ball from the Warriors. So it's natural that players are now citing referee favoritism to crack the Curry code, and Austin Rivers knows the Warriors guard both on and off court.
That's what Steve Kerr was so upset with in Game 3. He said we just didn't box out. They got crushed on the boards. Curry, it's good!
It shouldn't come as a surprise that the person who launched the offensive against Curry by citing a referee collusion is close to Curry. Well, before they were brothers in arms. Now, they're brothers-in-law. The two guards are now part of a family legacy that started with their parents, Del Curry and Doc Rivers. It's a legacy in safe hands considering Curry's unanimous appraisal by teammates, colleagues, and NBA legends themselves, including Kobe Bryant, Jamal Murray, and Jimmy Butler. These shared experiences make Rivers' recent comments about Curry's referee game even more interesting.
Here's another look. Here's a pump fake. There's definitely some contact there. They're saying Malik Monk didn't really jump forward. Yeah, Steph just abandoned.
They've both known each other intimately back at Duke, where both were teammates for the 2011-2012 season. There's certainly a lot that can be said about Steph's gameplay. The Warriors guard has been hailed by colleagues all around the NBA as the toughest. He's definitely a generational talent. I guess Rivers is right here. He does seem made for the game, and that makes everything easier, including playing well with the referees as well as your opponents. See you in the next one.